Dodgers named Tanner Scott as closer. Smart move or big mistake? What's up, Dodger Nation? We've got some big news out of Chavez Ravine, and it's all about who's going to be shutting down games for us this season. That's right, the Dodgers have seemingly made their decision on who'll be our closer, and it looks like Tanner Scott is the man for the job. But is this the right move for LA, or are we in for some surprises? Stick around, hit that subscribe button, smash that like, and let's dive into this hot topic. Segment 1, the closer decision. So here's the deal. The Dodgers signed Tanner Scott and Kirby Yates, adding them to a bullpen that already has 6 guys with closer level stuff. Naturally, the big question has been, who's actually going to close games? Well, Dave Roberts and President of Baseball Operations Brandon Gomez have hinted that it's going to be Tanner Scott. At Scott's press conference, Gomez mentioned that Scott will get a lot of save opportunities, but stopped short of officially calling him the closer. But then Dave Roberts, in an interview with MLB Network Radio, came right out and said Tanner Scott's going to be our closer to start the season. So, should we be surprised by this? Segment 2, surprise or expected move? Honestly, it's a bit of both. On one hand, the Dodgers have a history of not committing to just one closer. They usually play it flexible, using different guys depending on the situation. But on the other hand, Tanner Scott is a 30-year-old reliever we paid big money for. It kind of makes sense to give him the high-leverage role. But here's where it gets interesting. Scott's versatility could make him valuable in different situations, not just the 9th inning. Think about how Blake Trinan was used, sometimes in the 6th or 7th inning when the game was really on the line. Naming Scott as the closer might limit those opportunities. Plus, with so many trustworthy arms in the bullpen, wouldn't it make more sense to spread out the workload over the season? And let's not forget, the Dodgers' bullpen depth is one of their biggest strengths. We're talking about guys like Evan Phillips, who's proven to be clutch in tight spots, and Buster Gratterall, whose sinker can make batters look silly. So, is locking in Tanner Scott as the closer really the best use of our bullpen firepower? Segment 3, last season's bullpen rotation. Let's take a quick look back at last season. The Dodgers had 5 players with at least 2 saves. Evan Phillips led the team with 18 saves, followed by Daniel Hudson. Then you had Buster Gratterall, Alex Vesia, and even Anthony Bonda chipping in. In total, 14 different Dodgers recorded saves last year. That's a lot of shared responsibility. To put it in perspective, here's the breakdown. Phillips with 18 saves, Hudson with 10, Gratterall with 6, Vesia with 5, and Bonda with 2. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Other guys like Blake Trinan, Ryan Yarbrough, and Landon Knack also grabbed a save each. It's clear that the Dodgers have never been shy about spreading the wealth when it comes to closing games. Interestingly, Kirby Yates and Tanner Scott both had more saves than any Dodger last season. Yates was 7th in MLB saves, and Scott was 19th. So, it's clear these guys can handle the pressure. But will the Dodgers stick with one closer, or will they revert to their tried-and-true committee approach? Segment 4, what to expect from Tanner Scott. Now, let's talk numbers. If I set the over-under at 24.5 saves, would you take the over? Both Matt and I agree, Tanner Scott will probably land somewhere between 25 and 35 saves this season, assuming he stays healthy. But don't expect him to rack up 45 or 50 saves like some of the top closers in the league. And remember, if the Dodgers are winning games by huge margins, there won't even be save opportunities. And it's not just about the numbers. There's a strategic element here too. Will the Dodgers stick to this decision if Tanner Scott hits a rough patch? What happens if Evan Phillips comes back stronger than ever, or if Kirby Yates gets hot? The bullpen is a dynamic environment, and Dave Roberts has shown he's not afraid to make adjustments on the fly. Also, keep in mind that just because Dave Roberts says Tanner Scott is the closer now doesn't mean things won't change. The season is long, and the Dodgers might adjust their bullpen strategy as the year progresses. We could see a rotation of closers, depending on matchups and who's hot. Segment 5, the fans' take and final thoughts. So, Dodger Nation, what do you think? Is Tanner Scott the right choice to close games, or should the Dodgers stick with a bullpen by committee approach? Do you trust him to handle the pressure in those nail-biting, one-run games? Or would you rather see a more flexible, matchup-based approach? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear from you. Who do you think will step up this season in the bullpen? Could it be a breakout year for another reliever? And how many saves do you think Tanner Scott will finish with? And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for all the latest Dodgers news and updates. We'll be covering every pitch, every game, and every big decision throughout the season. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Go Dodgers!